Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram Kataksha Kirana Chanta Naman Mohabdaye Namaha Anantananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangalamurtaye Ahamasmi Sadabami Kada Chinnahamapriyaha Brahmaivahamata Siddham Satchidananda Lakshanam. Aham asmi, I am. Aham sadha bhami, I always am aware. Aham kadachit apriyam na bhavami. Apriyam bhavami. Apriyaha bhavami. I do not ever become unloving to myself or dislike myself. Ataha, therefore, siddham, it is proven. Aham Brahma eva. Satchidananda Lakshanam Brahma eva. So it's a simple, straightforward logic. I am always there. I am always aware. And I am always lovable to me. Now in this, there is no doubt to anyone. But what happens is we forget this nature of ourselves, which is undeniable. But because we identify ourselves with the body, therefore, we have the fear of being not there. I will not be there at some point of time. Because our thought is that I was not there at some point of time. Think. I am not able to recall my own presence before my birth. It looks blank to me. Even as you go in your memory lane to find out what was the first memory that you had about yourself when you were young. If you try to attempt that, you will find that at some point of time you have to stop, because beyond that you are not able to recall. So the hasty conclusion that we have is that I was not there at some point of time. I came into existence, whichever be the year of your birth, and you don't even remember until somebody told you that was your year of birth. And at the same time, since I was not there in the past at some point of time, there is a possibility that I will not be there in some point of time in future too. So Vedanta, first of all, points out that Tvam Ajaha, you are unborn. Unborn does not mean you are not born. Meaning you had no absence. Ajaha does not mean if something which is always not there can also be called Ajaha. It was never there. It is never. It was not there. It is not there. It shall never be there. That is also Ajavan. Now a thing which is not there, like a horn of a rabbit, it was not there, and it is not there, and it shall not be there in the future also. But that is not the case with you and I. We know that we are here, we are born, but Vedanta says you are never born. What does it mean? Because jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya. Jatasya, of that which is born, dhruvam, sure, mrityuhu, death, dhruvam janma, that which is dead, that which is dhruvam mrityuhu, jatasya hi dhruvam mrityuhu, dhruvam, and again it is for sure mritasya janana, that which is dead is subject to be born for sure. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. So when I am not able to recognize or recall my existence before my birth, therefore our conclusion is that I will not be there after my death. Kathopanishad also talks about this. The question was raised by Nachiketa. Is there a existence beyond physical body's death? Some people say yes, some people say no. I want to know from you, O Lord of death, is that true? So the statement aham asmi sada should not be taken as a physical existence. Sada aham asmi, it is like this. A golden chain, when you say golden chain, there are not two things, gold and chain, no, only one, golden chain. If I consider myself as a chain, then I am a jiva, which has a birth, which has a death. Chain was not there before, chain was made, and chain will be melted back into become merely a gold, without a form, specific form. As a chain, aham jiva, subject to janma and marana. As a gold, who am I? Aham Ishvara. So as a chain, I am a jiva. As gold, I am Ishvara. Think. What is then the distance between gold and the chain? There is no distance between gold and the chain. In the same way, between Jiva and Ishvara, it is not that there is any distance at all. But the distance is apparently created when I do not see myself as gold, but only as a chain. And as a chain, I have a particular form, which is different from another chain, which has another particular form. Therefore, looking at only the form, I forget that I am also gold, you are also gold. As a gold, I and you are same. As a gold, everything is one only. Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. So, Aham Ishwaraha, Edadrishtya, by this awareness, Jagat Ekam. There is only one in this world. So, as a chain, Aham Jiva. As a gold, Aham Ishwaraha. As existence, Aham Brahman. Aham Brahma. Gold is. So, Ishwaraha Abhi, Ishwara is also, a God also is true as a substratum or support to the chain. But the existence, pure existence, is not even gold. So when you say a golden chain is, you're bringing all the three. Gold, Ishvaraha. Chain, Jivaha. Is, Brahman. So who are you now? Chain or a gold or is? I am. Not gold, not the chain. I am. Ahamasmi. But sada asmi aham. And sada bhami, I am aware. The chain, the golden chain, is aware of its own chainness. But the gold does not accept its chainness. Gold is not chain. Gold has never become a chain. There's no chain in the gold. But there is gold in the chain. So, the gold which is perceived as chain and feels that it is only chain, conditioned, is a jiva. Now, even that gold, it's always aware of its own existence. And that is called Sadabhami. I am, and I am aware not as gold, not as chain, but I am. And when we remove the chainness in us, the jivatva in us, and start looking at the gold in us, Ishvara in us, then in the Nama Rupa Vilaye, in the elimination of names and forms, you see the homogeneous oneness in all things, and therefore, na aham, na apriyaha, nothing that is of the world can be apriyaha. Not only myself, but everything else in this world also, nothing in this world becomes subject to my hatred. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, na dveshta sarva bhutani. Adveshta. He is my devotee who doesn't have anyone to or anything to hate. He has understood the Ishvara Bhava. His goldness is understood. Therefore, he doesn't see anymore the differences that are caused by the individual chainness, jivatva. But one step further is, as a pure existence, even the absence of everything doesn't cause any sorrow. Because existence continues, even if the gold is not there. Ahamasmi sada bhami kata chinnahama priya. Therefore, ataha siddham. Ataha siddham. What is accomplished here? Aham Brahma. I am that Brahman only. Satchidananda Lakshanam, of the nature of pure existence, awareness or consciousness and bliss. And this bliss which we are talking about here, Ananda, is not Vishayananda or Vritti Ananda. It is not an objective pleasure or the thoughts, my emotions and feelings, or Sushupti Ananda. That is not also the Ananda of Sushupti, sleep. It is Brahmananda. It is Ananda that has no beginning or no end, and no end. Satchidananda Lakshanam Brahma eva aham ataha siddham. Now, the question is, if that is the case, what about the world? What is the cause of the world? Because no one can deny experience of the world. Or even when somebody says there is no world, whom are you telling? You. So I exist, right? I'm part of the world. You're talking to me and saying that there is no world, but I'm part of the world to whom you're talking. So what is the cause of this world? Now you see, the world also is nothing but a thing arising in my mind and settling back in my mind only. Mayevo teti chitvyomni jagat gandharva pattanam atoham nakatam brahma sarvajñam sarvakaranam Mayyevo teti chitvyomni jagat gandharva pattanam atoham nakatam brahma sarvajñam sarvakaranam. Mayi eva udeti. Mayi chitvyomni. In me, in the space of consciousness. Vyoman means space. Vyomni, in the space. Chit Vyomni, in the space of consciousness. Mayi, in me. Udeti, rises. What? Jagat. The world rises in my space of consciousness. Mayi eva, in me alone. And like what? Jagat. Gandharva Pattanam. Gandharva, celestial, heavenly. Pattanam, city, city of the celestials, castle in the sky. Now, castle in the sky, some people, when they look at the cloud on a cloudy day, the clouds appear like various forms. Oh, see, Indra's elephant is going, Indra is going behind it. There is a horse here. Maybe that is Vaishravas going in there. The Muni is going there. Ashwa is going there. This is so they can imagine everything. There is a Agastya Muni there. Here it is Vishwamitra. You can imagine anything you want. When you look at the sky with so many different formations of the cloud, people can imagine. In the same way, the entire creation called the world is appearing in my own space of consciousness. Now you see, many of the people who have no belief in God, they say God is a creation of a human mind. Science does not believe in the existence of God. Science says the creation is independent of everything else. Creation is a combination of atoms, dust particles, and the whole creation that we are seeing as the world is nothing other than combination of matter. Now you see, even if you take that to be true, a thing cannot create by itself. Guruji also writes in his commentary, a thing of the world cannot be itself the cause of the world. Because a thing cannot be cause of itself. It cannot create itself because it was not there before. How can it create? Or you cannot say the world is nothing but a combination of things. That is also a weird kind of explanation only there. Because if you say many things put together made the world, how those many things come into existence? How are they born? Who created that? So we have to first of all accept the Karya Karana Sambandha. The relationship between cause and effect, Karana Karya Sambandha. So religions believe that Karana is God and Karya is the world. So God is not a mere belief. God is not a belief. God is, on inquiry, you come to realize God is Jnana. So when a person who goes to a temple or a place of worship, when he sees a particular form in the temple, a Krishna, Ram, or Shiva, or whatever, Buddha, what is he seeing? Belief. Does he say, I believe God is there? Yes, no doubt, many people go to the temple with the belief that there is God. But a person who has studied Vedanta or this kind of knowledge will know God is not a belief, God is an understanding. Understanding as what? Sarvasya karanam iti. Sarvasya karanam. So you see, as again the example which I have taken of golden chain, we know that gold is not chain, but gold is called as chain. In the same way, God is not the world. The Karana, God, and Karya, the world, similar to Karana, the gold, Karya, the chain. The Sambandha is what? The Sambandha is Nama Matra. So this gold is now called as chain for a particular shape it has manifested as. जगत एक और नाम है भगवान का, क्योंकि भगवान बिना जगत का अस्तित्व नहीं है. Without the presence of the cause, there cannot be the existence of an effect. Without the existence of the gold, there is no existence of chain. And if you cannot separate these two, and therefore, when you cannot separate A and B, A is called as B. It is like a person who is acting as a particular character in a movie or a drama stage, movies or a play. Can you remove the character from the actor? Can you say character created the actor? Obviously, it's absurd. But the actor can appear as the character. And the distance between the character and the actor is zero. So that particular actor at the present moment is being called as the character. In the same way, when he said Isha Vasim Idagam Sarvam, Ishasya Bhavena Idagam Sarvam Achadaniyam, Shankaracharya writes. With the understanding that it is God, look at the world. Isha Vasyam means Vasyam Achadaniyam. Look at the world as God. Look at the chain as gold. Look at the pot as mud. Look at the world and understand it is God. It is understanding, not a belief. So when somebody asks, do you believe in God? No, I know. I should say, I know. You know God. Obviously, I'm not just a believer. Because believing means what? I'm not sure. So I believe that will happen. I believe that happened. What does it mean? Belief means there is no confirmation. But as a student of Vedanta, there is no question of believing in God. I know. So here, if the creation, earlier verse has proven that Aham Brahma, Brahma eva Aham. And from that Brahman, the absolute existence, there is an apparent presence of a creator with respect to the creation. It is like when you are in the deep sleep state, your existence, you are just an existence. Sanmatra, karana uparamataha, yobut sushupta puvan. Oh, you are only an existence at that point. You are not an individual, you are just an existence. When do you become an individual? When mind wakes up. Meaning, the consciousness start to manifest as the mind. Similarly, Chit Vyomni, in the space of consciousness, there is the rising up of Jagat Gandharva Pattanam, the appearance of the world like castle in the sky. So since, and also it is true, when I fold myself into the state of dream or deep sleep, the so-called world which I have been experiencing intensely from morning till evening folds up into where? Into the cause only. The effect cannot go anywhere else. The chain cannot walk away from the gold. The chain has to go back to the gold only. Similarly, the entire world which I come to experience as the waking world folds itself into the cause. And where is the cause? Chit Vyomni, in the space of consciousness. Therefore, if Jagat appears and disappears into me, who am I? Ataha aham katam na Brahma. How is that I am not Brahma? Atoham na katam Brahma. And since it is happening in my, it is like the snake disappearing in the rope. It cannot walk away from the rope. And when we say, therefore, rope is the substratum or the substratum of the snake, there is nothing wrong in that. Because without the rope, there cannot be any appearance of the snake. Now, let me clarify this point to you, then you will understand a little better. In the rope and snake example, you are not seeing them simultaneously. You are either seeing the rope or seeing the snake. The moment you see the rope, the snake disappears. If you are only seeing the snake, you will have no awareness of the rope. Clear? Now take the example of a mud pot. In the mud pot, Mritkatha. In the mud pot, you are seeing both of them at the same time. You are seeing the mud also. You are seeing the pot also. Please pay attention. You are simultaneously seeing mud and the pot. It is not for the sake of seeing the mud, you need to remove pot in your head. No. Let the pot be there. But I know it is Brahman. I mean, I know it is mud. Is it necessary for me to take the idea of pot away from it? No. I have to deny the pot. I have to deny the pot. I have to remove the pot from my mind. No, I do. You don't need to. While seeing the pot, you can continue to see it as mud. As much as while seeing the chain, you can see the gold also. You don't need to struggle too much. What you need to do, shift your attention from the form to the substratum. Similarly, while seeing the Jagat, you can see Bhagavan also there. You don't need to deny Jagat. You don't need to deny the world to see God. As I said, because it is not a belief, it is an understanding. A belief may change. Your understanding improves from one stage to another. So that which I continue to see the world. While continuing to see the world, I can simultaneously recognize that as Brahman. Because it is Sarvasya Karanam. It is the very cause of all that which is appearing. Here, Karanam should be understood as not in terms of time and space. It was there and now it became this. No. Karanam as the Adhishtanam, as the very support of it. And because with its support alone it is appearing, therefore it knows what it is supporting. Sarvajnam, Sarvasya Karanam, Sarvasya Sarvesham Jnanamapi. Sarvasya Jnanamapi. There is an awareness or knowledge about Sarvam, everything. And there is the same one is the very cause for everything. See, it is gold does not know it has been appearing as a chain. No, it is not possible. It knows. Similarly, Bhagavan is considered as Sarvajna because Sarvam Janati. Sarvasya Moolam Janati. Sarvasya Jananam Janati. Adhishtanam Janati. Pralayam Abhi Janati Saha. It knows the birth, it knows the existence, it knows the end. In the same way, as much as I can see the appearance or the manifestation of the Jagat in my mind, in my own consciousness, and how the consciousness is sustaining this experience of the world, and at the time when I go to I fold myself in the state of sleep, how that very world which I have been experiencing has become unmanifest, folded in to me. So I see Jagat Utpatti, Jagat Sthiti, Jagat Pralaya, Jagat Salaya. That also I see. Therefore, how am I not Brahman? Ato aham na katam Brahma. See, the logic that is being given here is not for mere statements which need to be memorized. These are all the pointers to reflection. As we saw, Prameya, earlier also we saw in the introduction, this particular text is, as Guruji wrote in the beginning itself, in the introduction itself, what did he say? This is a Prakarana Grantha, no doubt. It is a particular Grantha which is removing the Prameya Asambhavana. Pramana Asambhavana goes away from Shravanam. Prameya Asambhavana goes away from reflection. What is Prameya? What is to be meditated upon? Prameya Vastu. Now, please understand, this verse is only to make this clear to us that the substratum for this entire creation, Jagat, cannot but be Brahman. Because that being the substratum alone on which the Jagat is appearing, sustaining and disappearing, And in the earlier verse, I have proven that I cannot but be Brahman. Therefore, the whole world is none other than that which appears in my own space of consciousness. Mayyevuteti chitvyomni jagat gandharva pattanam aham tas adoham nakatam brahma sarvajnam sarvakaranam. All right. Now, continuing in the next verse, he says, this world seemed to be constantly changing and destroying itself. You put a small seed and water it, expose it to sun, and starts to germinate. Small sprouts are coming, leaves are coming, slowly it becomes a small plant, and then it grows to become a grown-up plant. And then you can have leaves and flowers and whatnot. Or your own children, you know, they were not there, they were born, and then they're growing up, they become teenagers, now they are taller than you. You see how the absence of a person and becoming a beautiful, strong, dominating presence at some point of time. And you also know those whom you have been interacting with, your own parents or your own grandparents or elder brothers and sisters who are getting old slowly, and become senile and then slowly disappear from the scene. That also you've seen. So everything in this world that is subject to change is subject to nasha, destruction. In the same way, can we say this self, this Brahman, is also subject to such vinasha, destruction, disappearance? No. How do you prove? Now here you see, Nasvada pratyabhijnanat niram satvan nachanyatah nachashraya vinashan me vinashasyadhanashrayat nasvada pratyabhijnanat niranchhatvan nachanyatah nachashraya vinashan me vinashasyadhanashrayat. Vinashaha, that is the main word. Destruction. Na swadaha vinashaha. It cannot commit suicide. It cannot destroy itself. Na anyataha vinashaha. Second, it cannot be destroyed by anybody else. There are two possibilities of a person coming to an end or anything coming to an end: self-destruction or destroyed by something else. There are two possibilities. In a crime scene also, is it suicide or murder? Is it suicide or murder? Either he killed himself or somebody had killed. Okay. The third possibility is what? Ashraya vinashat swavinashaha. From when the support is gone, there is a destruction. Like an old person, because of inability to breathe, the lungs have collapsed, or cancer, because of lung cancer or some other. So there is a ashraya, the support has been removed. Heart is no more functioning, or breathing is no more possible. And in which case also that person will die. That is called ashraya vinashat vinashaha. By removing the support. Like that of a cloth is there, and you remove the thread, where is the cloth then? Tantudahe patanashaha. Tantu means the thread. Dahe, when you burn the threads, there cannot be a cloth. So ashraya vinashe na vinashaha. So when the ashraya, the supporting part is removed or destroyed, then there cannot be the existence of the object. A tree, very beautifully standing, but if you cut off water to the tree, to the plant, then what will happen? Then there cannot stay anymore because its sustenance is removed. You are existing or I am existing because of the food that we eat. When we do stop eating, which is the ashraya, support, then what happens? The body will collapse and die. So there are three possibilities. One, self-killing, self-annihilation. Second, killed by someone else. Third, by removal of the support. Now, Atman or the self can be killed by any of these three means. Will the Atman come to an end? So here is the logic to prove it cannot. First, let us take the first one. Swata vinashaha bhavati va na bhavati va. Self-destruction is possible or not? Cannot. Why? Pratyabhijnanat. Prati abhijna. The word is prati abhijna. Pratyabhijna means constant recollection of existence. Constant recollection of existence. What does it mean? Atman is not an object for it to get destroyed. And it does not have a physical form for it to get destroyed. Nor even it is a thought for it to deny itself. It is awareness which is present even in the absence of all thoughts. And it is constantly aware of its own existence. Swayam janati. It is constantly aware of its own presence, and there is no time where it is not aware of its own presence. That's why earlier it is said, Sada Bhami. Ahamasmi Sada Bhami. Sada? What do you mean Sada there? Nityam. Aharnisham. Day and night, all the time, it's aware. Now, somebody would say, if you say it is always aware, why am I not aware of it when I'm sleeping? Now I am aware, I myself. Perhaps I am aware during the dream also to some extent, but in the sleep, I am not aware of myself. When you say I am not aware of myself, you are referring to a thought, the knowing the awareness through a thought. See, it is like this. In the sky, there are many zillions of stars and planets and cosmos. Now, until the telescope was made or discovered, invented, we did not know the existence of the distant star. That does not mean it was not there. The means to know the telescope, when it is discovered or invented, you come to know its existence. You mean to say, telescope created the existence of the star? No. And now the telescope technology has been improving and more. So you can see more stars that are in the distance so far away. And interestingly, the star that you are seeing now up in the sky in the night are dead and gone long time back. Oh, yes. The light that has been traveling for millions of miles, reaching to your eyes now, whereas that star had disappeared long time back. It's not there. Presently, it's not there. But we are able to see it only now. So when we are trying to understand the awareness through a thought, obviously, when the thoughts are not there, the way to know the awareness is not there, you conclude saying that there's no awareness. See, if a person is in coma, and deeply in coma, breathing, physical body is fine, working, all things are working. But coma means what? Coma. Who is that? I am not. Who am I? I don't know. Now that person has been in coma for, let us say, a year or so. And you have been, it's your brother or sister, for God forbid, or a friend, let's say. And you have been going every week to see and pray for that person. And suddenly, after a year or so, that person wakes up. For him, through the thought, what would he remember? The last thought he thoughted. So when he wakes up, it is like waking up from sleep. And let us say that previous year he had his birthday, and in that birthday day itself, he collapsed and became a patient and went into coma. When he wakes up, he will remember only that birthday party he attended. So he would say, hey, that cake that you made yesterday was great. What cake? Which cake? No, you understand, realize that, oh, he's referring to the cake that he had. Maybe that was the cause of the coma also. He had, which my wife made for his birthday last year. So your wife is wondering, what is he referring to my cake? Yes, but that was made so many months back. But in his memory, that is the last thought. His awareness is confined to the thought with which he remembers. But don't you know that he has been there, alive, for the past 1.5 years? So when we try to recognize or try to understand the awareness only as an object of our own thought, yes, you may not remember everything. But the awareness continues to be even if there is no presence of thoughts or mind. And that's why it is called pratyabhijna. This nature of the self is consciousness and not a memory. Therefore, do not confine the consciousness to some set of thoughts or memory. Memory can be there. Sometimes you remember, sometimes you may not remember. But even that which you do not remember, you are aware that you don't remember. Even that you remember, you are aware that you remember. If you're looking at a person, I have seen you somewhere. I don't remember. So the very fact that you are aware that you don't remember that person is also awareness. The Pratyabhijna is therefore a continuous, as Gurudev writes said here, remembering and forgetting are merely the qualities of the mind. The factor which is present always and illumines the experiences and the memory does not perish. And that which is ever present, continuously there. Therefore, it cannot self-annihilate itself. Self-annihilation is not possible. It cannot destroy itself. All right. Why others cannot destroy? There is no external destruction possible. Because it says very clearly, Anyataha vinashaha na. Why? Niramshatvat. Amsha means part. Niramshaha. So when somebody dies, what we say? He departed. Departed means what? You know, there was something which was there as part of his body is no more as a part of the body. Departed. When a train comes into the station, it is arrival. And when the train no more is a part of the station, departed. So eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, hands, legs, all these are all parts. And when all these are all can be removed, each one can be removed, and there can be destruction out of removal of, even when part of my body is the heart, when the heart is removed, departed, I am no more. So when the amshas are there, parts are there, when parts are removed, I do not exist anymore. But is Atman having parts? Is it departmental store? Atman departmental store, not possible. There is no part. It's one wholesome, complete, without any avayava, niravayavatvat, niramshatvat. The removal of the amsha part cannot also bring destruction to Atman. And because of the absence of the parts, there is no decay also. There is no decay and destruction because there is no part. So somebody else or something else cannot cause the destruction to the cell by removing the parts. Okay. What about removal of its support? As earlier said, ashraya vinashat swavinashaha. Ashraya vinasha means removal of the support, because of which also it can destroy. No, because anashrayatvat. It has no ashraya. There is no support. It's its own support. Because if consciousness has to be supported by something, what is supporting consciousness? A support must be different from what is supported. If consciousness has to be supported by something else, it must be other than consciousness. What is that? Unconsciousness. If Sat is the nature of the truth, the other than the Sat, something is supporting it. What is it? Asat. A non-existence, unawareful thing cannot support existence and consciousness. Therefore, This does not have any ashraya. For removal of the ashraya, the support, it can collapse. Atman cannot be destroyed by removal of the ashraya, support, because it has no support. So neither by itself, nor by anything else, nor by removal of ashraya, there can be destruction. That's it. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. Na yam bhutva na bhavita na bhuyah. Ajo nitya shashvato yam purana. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. We'll see more of it in the next class. You can ask question after I finish this. Okay. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.